It's been less than a month since a devastating wildfire, the largest in the history of Kansas, ravaged through giant swaths of farmland. The flames destroyed hundreds of thousands of acres, reduced homes and other infrastructure to ashes, and left livestock unable to escape, choked by smoke and burned alive. No area had it worse than Clark County and Ashland, Kansas. The Starbuck fire torched 461,000 square acres there. Days after the flames were put out, a smoky haze remained over the area. But take the time to listen to the people of Clark County, and you quickly understand they're determined to rise from the ashes.
It's a terrible, terrible situation. Lots of acres, lots of homes burnt.
And it's a major disaster.
Fire itself, it almost... it's a little bit overwhelming.
Yes, I will be around. And I will email you some of these numbers.
Okay. It's a typical day since the fires, if you can call it typical. Ashland insurance agent Holly Fast is strategizing with her team as they organize the scores of people from around the country who want to volunteer in the recovery.
It's impressive. And it's not just Kansas. Like they were talking about, like I have Michigan, I have Minnesota, I have Iowa, Indiana, Colorado, Wyoming, South Dakota, Oklahoma, Texas, a little bit, not a whole lot. They have their own things they're cleaning up down there. But still from there, Alabama, Florida. I have a group coming from Florida. I have a group coming from Virginia. I mean, it's crazy, and that's all due to Facebook.
Fast and her helpers work to match up laborers with local farmers and ranchers determined to rebuild. She says youth groups, ag organizations, and even people on their days off are showing up.
Last week I had a guy travel from Baxter Springs, Kansas. It was like a 7-hour drive for one afternoon, just because he really wanted to donate. So he drove all the way over here to donate an afternoon of his time and then had to go back home because he had to go back to work.
Fencing is the biggest issue.
Anyway, basically what we do is I have a group contact me, or one person. I mean, I have everything from one person coming to town to groups of 40. And we can either break them up or we find one place to go. And then I just kind of basically go through my list and who hasn't, who's ready, who hasn't had anybody, if they're bringing equipment, who needs somebody with equipment, that kind of thing, and try to pair them up accordingly. And I have several people working with me that are wonderful and are helping me do that because, the phone call level is impressive.
Down the street at Ashland Feed and Seed, the trucks keep rolling in, loaded with hay, feed, and fence building materials.
I've had hay donations in here from Pennsylvania, Montana, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, South Dakota, North Dakota, Colorado, and I'm missing some, I know, but it's all greatly appreciated. It's just been overwhelming support like that.
That's Jeff Kay, the owner. His business has become a distribution station for livestock-saving supplies that have poured in. Kay keeps an evolving list of farmers and ranchers in his pocket as he connects fire-ravaged homesteads with stockpiles of provisions. He says the calls have been continual.
Jeff, this is Ryan Sexton. I'm west of Valentine, Nebraska. Just calling to visit with you about your possible hay needs down in that country here in the next few
When I got in the heat of the battle, I mean, it's slowed down, but I was fielding 600 to 800 phone calls a day. It was just amazing from the outpouring support for us. So
Kay says the extra demands are well worth it because he's helping the people who help build his business. The generosity of the agricultural community is a vital piece of Ashland's recovery, but monetary donations will make a huge difference in the long term. Thankfully, Ashland already had an infrastructure in place to get financial help to those who need it most.
We've had an unbelievable amount of response from Kansas communities, individuals, not just Kansas, but all over the United States.
That's Larry Conrady with the Ashland Community Foundation. He says the organization was created more than 20 years ago to meet critical needs in the community.
Probably not a reason that we wanted to be put in our laps, but it is a function of our foundation, and we are the vehicle for people that want to make donations for the fire relief.
Donations from $5 to $50,000 have come across Conrady's desk in the days following the fire. He says the foundation is taking applications in 2 specific areas of need.
Anybody that lost a home, and when I say lost a home, that means they lost a place to live. They didn't have to own that home, in other words. And then the other money that we're receiving in donations is going to be a landowner-producer application.
The long-term impact, according to Conrady, is hard to measure, but lost incomes, property, and belongings will take time to be recovered. Despite the challenges, a wonderful story has emerged in the midst of this tragic fire, and that's how neighbors are willing to go above and beyond when it comes to helping their neighbors.
In a small rural community, everybody helps everybody, everyone else, and it's a way of life. And when it comes down to an event like this, it brings everybody closer together.
And something like this, though we don't wish anything like this to happen, it's amazing what it has done to unify our area.
It's everybody working together for each other that has really made this go.
If you would like to lend a hand to the people of Ashland and Clark County, go online to ashlandcf.com. Reporting for Great Plains Christian Radio, I'm Delvin Kinser.